What is up guys, it's your boy Swolheim here, back with another Wrath of the Lich King Classic video. So we have some news regarding Phase 2, Ulduar and the PTR, regarding testing and what exactly is coming in Phase 2 of WOTLK Classic, as well as a little bit of hints towards when this is coming out, and we have some dates that have been shared in some of these posts. So what we're doing today is we're going to Wowhead, and we're reading some news updates for Phase 2 of WOTLK Classic, and we're covering first things like the first look at the Titan Rune dungeon system, aka the Heroic Plus or whatever you want to call it. We have the first look at the update of item levels coming in Ulduar as well, and we also have some dates for raid testing. With that being said, we have to thank today's sponsor, Raid Shadow. No, it's my gold guide. So if you haven't checked it out already, we have made a gold guide for Wrath of the Lich King Classic, and this one is already 120 pages long, and we have a Discord community for the gold guide as well. Basically, we're covering everything you want to know about gold farming and gold making. We're covering things like professions, gold farms you can do with professions, without professions, and there's so many different ways to make gold in WOTLK Classic that we're covering in this gold guide. We also have things like shuffles and auction house strategies, farming pets in the open world, and farming a lot of different types of items. So if you're looking to make gold in the expansion in Wrath of the Lich King, then this is definitely the guide for you. And if you haven't checked it out yet, the link will be down below, and you can grab it for half price by using the code Solheim. That is it. Now let's talk about the news for Phase 2. Okay, so these Titan Rune dungeons, or the Defense Protocol Alpha, as they're calling it, aka Heroic Plus, basically works a lot like Mythic Plus does in retail. Now I do know a lot of people playing Classic have no relationship to retail at all, so let's just cover that super quickly and talk about how that works. So to activate the Defense Protocol Alpha for Titan Rune dungeons, after your entrance you will find a mysterious device object that you can interact with, and interacting with the object will activate the runes on the device. So you can click and you have this thing coming up right here, and you can click to activate the Defense Protocol Alpha. So once activated, a new object will appear, allowing players to channel after activating. So you click to activate the device, then you get this thing coming up that you click to activate as well, and after a few seconds of channeling, the object will disappear, and once the Defense Protocol Alpha has been activated, a light will shine on the mysterious object. All enemies, trash and bosses will now gain an empowered rune inside the dungeon. So for example, here you will see this boss right here is now empowered. His damage has been increased by 30%, health is increased by 100%, and attacks have a chance to web wrap a victim. So the bosses, and maybe even the trash as well, will now start getting some additional actually attacks and things happening to them that you might have to play around. So for example, the boss right here is the one in Ashel Nerib, and this one now has a chance to web wrap a victim, just like the small mobs in front of the boss actually did before, and he deals more damage and he has way more health, twice as much. So here we have a couple of different empowered. So here we have the empowered Shadow Rune, for example, that is this one. We also have the Arcane Rune all the way down here, which increases damage by 30% and health by 100%. That is the standard for all the runes, and attacks have a chance to summon mirror images of the caster. We also have this one right here, the Blood Rune, 100% lifesteal when standing in the blood of the Loa. We also have melee attacks have a chance to glaciate a random nearby target. For Plague Rune, damaging attacks can now infect victims with the Zombie Plague. For Shadow Rune, that is the one we just talked about, and for Titan Rune, pulsing Serenite Corrupted Titan Energy, that increases the enemy damage done by 1% and damage taken by 2% per stack for 12 seconds. So those are the runes that have been data mined so far. We could be finding more of them as well, but for now, these are the ones that you will have to play around and actually avoid. So you have the one with the web wrapping, which is just like RNG. Pulsing Serenite Corrupting Titan Energy can probably be cloaked by rogues and stuff like that, right? So there's additional stuff that you have to think about, and you have to play around while doing the dungeon. You're also getting better loot as well, so it's basically the heroic difficulty has been increased, but you're getting better loot. You're basically getting Neo 10 or Naxxramas, Eye of Eternity, and also Obsidian, not Obsidian, but you're getting the Yeah, you're getting the Obsidian Sanctum 10 gear, so you're getting 10 man gear from Phase 1 from Heroic Dungeons or Heroic Plus Dungeons by activating the Defense Protocol Alpha. Now let's take a look at the upgraded or updated item level in Ulduar. So in Ulduar this time around, we're getting updated item level based on the fact that they want Ulduar to stay competitive for a longer period of time. So back in days and on many servers afterwards, whenever Trial of the Crusader comes out, nobody really does Ulduar anymore because you get a lot better gear from Trial, and you also get faster gear. It is an easier raid that gives you better stuff, so people just quit playing Ulduar, and to make Ulduar more competitive against the next raid tier this time around, they are upgrading the item level, and there's some pretty major upgrades here. So let's just start off with Ulduar 10. This one, the OG item level was 219, and now it's 225. For Ulduar 10 hard mode, it was 226, now it's 239. For Aligalon 10 it was 226, now it's 232. So you will see right here the hard mode item levels have been increased by a lot, so you will definitely want to do hard mode, and based on these updates right here, I do think a lot of guilds will be somewhat forced into doing hard modes all the time. Even split runs for the most hardcore guilds will be hard mode split runs. So for Ulduar 10 mode hardman weapons, 245 item level, and that is a massive upgrade. You also have Ulduar 25, 226 to 232, so just a 6 item level upgrade right here. Same thing for Ulduar 25 weapons, but look at Ulduar 25 hard mode, all the way from 239 to 252. That is a massive upgrade, once again 13 item levels of an upgrade right here for the hard mode, and you have Aligalon 25 from 239 to 245. You also have the Valanir, the Hammer of Kings, which is a legendary that is coming out in Ulduar. This one is 245 item level originally. Now they are upgrading the item level of the legendary itself to 258, probably making this the best in slot weapon throughout the entire expansion, which it was not back in the day, by the way, because even though it has a very strong on-use effect through the actual legendary effect, the stats really faded off when, for example, ICC came out, but this time around, more item level means more stats as well, and by keeping the proc the way it is, this is going to be a very good weapon. So here we can see exactly what this looks like for some of the weapons. So Flare of the Heavens from phase 2, this one right here, 239 item level. Over here it's 252. So the previous one gave you 120 crit rating, this one gives you 135. It also increased your spell power by 850 on a proc chance, now it's 959. That is 109 spell power increase, which is absolutely massive. For something like the Blade Twister, which is a weapon, a dagger to be more exact, this one used to be 239, now it's 252, and you can see just how much this affects the weapon. This one used to go from 184 to 343, now it's 202 to 377. It used to deal 188.21 damage per second, now it's 206.8 damage per second. You're also getting 7 more agility on the weapon itself, and the stats have been massively increased to give you more crit, more haste, and more attack power. You have the same thing going for the sword right here as well, so the exact same thing once again, right? Huge increase both in terms of damage per second, actual weapon damage, and the stats. You have the same thing going for the Golden Serenite Dragon and Comet's Trail, Mjolnir's Runestone. Basically a lot of examples right here on how this will work, and these item level upgrades will have the chance to actually kind of spin around the actual BIS lists a little bit. And once again, I'm wondering how this will look for crafted gear that is coming out in Ulduar, because the way it was back in the day, I do think the Rune cloth, the kind of belt you're getting for clothwear users used to be best in slot for warlocks, based on it having haste and hit, so haste and hit rating. I think that was the best one, but if the item level doesn't get upgraded for crafted gear, will that one still be best in slot? I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly how they do that with BOE weapons, but just the fact that we have these massive upgrades right here will definitely spin around the BIS list a little bit and make it a little bit interesting. And we have one more thing to talk about in today's video, and that is the PTR testing for raids in phase 2, aka Ulduar. So for this one right here, I'm not going to read the entire thing, but basically someone asked them on the forums if they had any dates for raid testing. Based on the raid testing, well, the PTR is available right now. We're 1 month away from Christmas, and I think a couple of people were kind of kind of interested to see if they were doing raid testing during Christmas, because that would probably not be the best time to do raid testing, so they wanted to get some dates clarified before that happened. So here we go, we are going to aim for the early afternoon US time of December 8th to enable Ulduar raid testing, and we are likely going to leave the raid available through the weekend, and will likely end the first round of testing on the morning of December 12th. So right here we go, those are the dates we have for now. Nothing is set in stone, but these are the dates they're aiming for, which means that this is the first round of raid testing. That is important to know here, the first round of raid testing. So if that is on December 11th or December 8th to 12th, we then have, for example, they could do one more round the next weekend. Actually, they can do one more round the very next weekend, which is December 16th until December 18th, but they can't really do another one until January. So in that case, the next round of raid testing will either be on December 16th, so like just 1 week after the first round, which is kind of early, but the second round could be, for example, the first weekend of January, which is January 6th until January 8th, in which case we're looking at like a January 20th or January 22nd for a launch date for Phase 2, which kind of fits right into my guess of January 15th, which was originally, or January 16th was my guess, now January 16th or 23rd, based on us getting the phase on a Monday in January. So January 16th or 23rd would be my guess, but I do think they're going to do like a round of raid testing on January 6th or January 13th, probably January 6th, just to get like a round 2. So yeah, that is basically the video for today, guys. Just a quick video about the news that are regarding Phase 2. We have a lot of things coming for Phase 2. It's actually very interesting, and seeing how the item level upgrades will affect the biz lists will be very interesting. Also doing Heroic Plus, I can't wait to see how that works, because let's be real here. Heroics in Wrath are very easy. It is much easier now than it used to be back in TBC, and I'm kind of interested to see what it would look like with a scaled up difficulty. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Make sure to subscribe for future Phase 2 content when that comes out. And yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what you are most excited for Phase 2, if you made it this far into the video. And once again, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.